Hey everybody, welcome to my YouTube video. My name's Chris. Um, this particular video, for those of you who are new, have never tuned in, it's called Daily Reflections with Chris because we read out of this Daily Reflections book, which is a reflection for people in recovery, right? In this particular case, it's for people who may or may not have a problem with their drinking. But for my case, I did, and when I did, well, it turns out I seem to have the symptoms, or I do have the symptoms of being an alcoholic. So here I am. This book is for daily reflections for alcoholics by alcoholics. In other words, a whole bunch of people who came before me wrote this book so that I could have something to reflect on the daily, right? To be able to reflect on my recovery, where I am and where I want to be when it comes to it, right? So today is July the 9th, and I'm going to read the entry for today. It's called, I Am an Instrument. Humbly asked him to remove our shortcomings. That's from the 12 and 12, page 70. The subject of humility is a difficult one. Humility is not thinking less of myself than I ought to be. It is acknowledging that I do certain things well. It is accepting a compliment graciously. God can only do for me what he can do through me. Humility is a result of knowing that God is the doer, not me. In the light of this awareness, how can I take pride in my accomplishments? I am an instrument, and any work I seem to be doing is being done by God through me. I ask God on a daily basis to remove my shortcomings in order that I may more freely go about my AA business of love and service. I'm thinking of what to say because there's so much I want to say. So humility was not what I thought it was. I would get the word humility confused with the word humiliation. And humiliation was what I was doing to myself when I was drinking too much, drugging too much, doing things that brought me shame that I told myself I would never ever do. Humiliation was picking fights with my friends there, my family there, causing chaos when I didn't need to, being dramatic, being victim mentality. All that stuff caused me a lot of humiliation. So coming in here, I learned this other word that's kind of a part of it, but not really. It means something totally different. It's called humility. And being able to accept my limitations, being able to accept my gifts and talents and use them for the good, right? Instead of for manipulation. And I've talked about this a lot because I need to be reminded of this a lot, because I forget sometimes that humility is just a simple act of being able to say thank you when somebody gives me a compliment, being able to receive things that I wasn't able to receive before. Back in the days, I remember people would tell me that I was cute or that I was pretty, and I would say things like, whatever, or you're just saying that, or you're just being nice. And people were just being legitimate. I mean, most people don't tell you you're cute if you're not, right? That's the way I see it today. And it was only through being able to get rid of all the shame and all the guilt that I had coming into this program through the steps, right, that I'm able to receive a compliment today. As a matter of fact, I'm even able to compliment my own self when I look in the mirror and I said, damn, I gotta do a double take and be like, wow, Chris, you're looking nice today. And when somebody tells me that I get to be able to say thank you and accept that compliment as something that people legitimately want me to know. And so once in a while I'll take it somewhere else, but for the most part I do really good. I mean, it comes with practice, right? Because I've been doing it the other way for so long that doing it this new way takes practice. So the second part of this is like, I'm practicing, I'm doing really good, I haven't drank in a while. I haven't felt like drinking in a while. I'm able to, um, I'm not so emotionally unbalanced most days. I'm able to make decisions rationally now instead of crazy. And I really do owe all that to God or to my higher power, whatever that may be, right? Because I get it today that without that power, I didn't have the power to be different. I didn't have the power to be loving. I didn't have the power to be useful. I didn't have the power to ask for help. My pride got in the way. My ego got in the way. My thinking got in the way. This idea that I'm weak if I ask for help. This idea um, that nobody understands me and nobody loves me and I'm just a pile of junk. And if you're normal, you probably never had those ideas. You can probably see life in a whole different view than me. But for people like me or for me, it didn't, thoughts like that didn't come so easy. Right? So now that I'm retraining the brain, doing things differently on the outside, um, asking God to work with my heart within me, asking God to help me with my defects, right? That I want Him to remove everything that's just not working for us anymore. When I'm able to do that, this vessel, I'm able to get clear. I'm able to get rid of that junk. I'm able to get washed through. I'm able to be free and clear so that when He needs me to go and do something and carry the message and say something, do something, that I can do it more freely. And when somebody says, man, thank you, at that moment, I know that it's not me, it's God. I can't be cool without Him in my life. I don't know how to be cool. I know how to make mess. I know how to hurt people. I know how to um create chaos and be very dramatic. And I don't want to. It's just not my thing, man. It was my thing at one time, but it's not my thing today. So when I choose to tap into my higher power and get connected and ask for help in those areas, then that's what I get. But as soon as I start taking credit for it, all of that stuff just, it dwindles, right? Because people know. I mean, I can fool myself all I want, but I can't fool people. When I'm sitting here being like, oh yeah, look at me, look at me. People don't like that. I mean, I don't even like that. And today, I gotta be reminded that my accomplishments, I couldn't have accomplished what I have so far all by myself. And drinking and drugging and stealing and cheating and lying. That might not have been what I probably wasn't born that way, but you stay out there drinking and drugging long enough, you will become that way. It's inevitable. Folks, if you stay out there long enough, it's inevitable. It was inevitable for me. So I'm real grateful that I got here when I did. That I got to experience a life-changing event, a life-changing program, a life-changing community, a life-changing higher power, or who I choose to call God, right? Folks, this whole higher power thing, it works for anything. It works for drug addiction. It works for mental illness. It works for love addiction. It works for unforgiveness. It works for grief. It works for disillusionment. I mean, there's so much that this higher power works for. And I'm going to put this book down just a little bit. My heart is heavy tonight, folks. I'm going to try to keep this short. So I have a friend who has a daughter who mentally has found it necessary to try and end her life. And man, I get lost for words when people share that with me, because I know that it wasn't until I got connected with God that I was able to get relieved of all that, get relieved of those suicidal tendencies, get relieved of killing myself slowly with drugs and alcohol. Something had to have occurred, and nothing could have occurred. You know, I have seen people die of this addiction. I have seen people successfully commit suicide, and I just, man, it hurts my heart so much. And right now, with so much crazy things going on in the world, that you offer up a prayer and people don't want your prayers. They want change. But here's the deal, folks. For stuff like that, there's only so much I can do. There's only so much I can do. The best that I could do right now. When those people, when see, when I was wanting to be, when I wanted to end my life, I wasn't willing to hear anything. I didn't want to hear anything. I couldn't hear anything. When I was drinking and driving, I didn't want to hear anything. I couldn't hear anything. I couldn't. You talk to me about God, I would be like, dude, get out of my face. You would talk to me about recovery, about maybe taking a look at what I was doing with my life, and I'd be like, man, just, you don't understand me, or I would listen to you, but I would never talk to you again, right? That's just where I was. So guess what, folks? If somebody would have not prayed for me, if people would have stopped praying, and my grandma would have said, oh, my prayers aren't working, I wouldn't be here today, folks. Please do not give up on your loved ones. If they ain't listening to what you're saying, if they listen to what I'm saying, if they listen to what anybody's saying, pray for them. Somebody will. Something will happen. And hopefully, when they get that little window, that they will take that help. That's what my prayer is. That if you're out there, you're speaking to this young lady while she's over there being watched. If you have an intercessor, if there's an angel you can send down to speak to her in a way that I can't, to speak to her in a way that her parents can, to love her in a way that she would see you, that she would help her decide, Father, please, if it's not your will for her not to die, save her. Save her. You can. If anybody, I believe that if anybody can, he can. And you might have a different power, higher power than mine, but I hope and I pray that your higher power will be a power of savior, of saving lives, of saving people, of healing people, of loving people, right? Me as a person, I can only do so much. And even if and I can do a lot, right? I'm like a really good worker, and I have a lot of energy, and there's a lot of things that I can do. I can read and write, and I have all my body parts, right? Well, 10 of me can do a lot too. But the God that I know, the God that I understand, the God that I believe in, the God that I trust in, can do more in one pinky, just like this, than I can do with all mine, with all my energy, and 10 of my energies, 10 of me and all our energies. He's more powerful than that. And I believe that today because I've seen him. Yes, my mom died. Yes, my sister died. That I want them to live. Yes, that I pray for them to live. Yes. But I don't think less of God because they died. Did I wrestle with it? Yes. Did I struggle with it? Yes. But would you catch me saying right now, in this day, at this moment, I don't know what it's going to be like tomorrow or 10 days from now, but today, with what I've been through, you will not catch me saying, I'm tired of your prayers, I need change. Well, guess what? Prayers create change. There will be change. There will be salvation. It's coming. It's inevitable. The God that I believe in doesn't end in the deficit. And if you have family members that still out there drinking and drugging, who want to cut themselves every time they don't get what they want, I say, friend, don't ever stop praying for them. Don't ever stop believing that there's something out there that can still save lives. Or you can. I mean, the choice is up to you. But I know what I've been through. I have so many spiritual experiences I could talk to you about. Where I knew that a higher power existed. For me, it didn't matter what I looked like. It didn't matter who I want to date. It doesn't matter. None of that matters. It matters to you, but it doesn't matter to him. It might matter to those who told me that I was going to go to hell. But it didn't matter to him. It doesn't matter if I'm divorced. It doesn't matter if I'm ratchet. Even if I am the victim, even if I do have victim mentality today, it doesn't matter to him. He can still use me. He can still use you. He can still use your daughter. He can still use your son. He's still using my mom right now. And she's passed away. Why? Because people hear her in their heads. What she used to say, how she used to talk to us. The kind of friend she was. People, not all is lost. I pray that you find hope in this world, even with all the things going on. You know, I look around and today I was thinking about how much the air condition was. I went to a meeting that we got invited to, me and my home group. A whole bunch of us went over there together. And then the air conditioner was noisy, like it was hurting my ear already. It was so noisy. But they can't turn it off because there's a lot of people in there. Well, I mean, it's 105 outside, or 103, and it's like 8 o'clock at night. So they couldn't turn off the air conditioner. So I was like praying. I was like, God, please help me. Please help me ignore the noise and hear the message. Because that's what I want. I want to hear I want to hear the message. Help me, God. Because I'm getting distracted. And then my friend sends me that message. She misses my mom. I said, I do too. And she told me about her daughter trying to commit suicide. And I couldn't help but to be grateful that my biggest problem was a noisy air conditioner. Folks, get out of your head, man. Get out of your thoughts. Look around you. You might have it really good right now compared to other people. If God wouldn't have saved my life, I wouldn't have had a message to carry. I believe in a God who saves lives. Thank you for tuning in. If you made it to 18 minutes and 35 seconds, I want to say thank you. I know that your time is precious, and you can listen to anybody. You can listen to some people with degrees. You can listen to people who are preaching the word, who have like TikTok videos and all that stuff, Instagram. I don't have any of that stuff. It's just my YouTube video. But I'm so grateful for your time. So grateful. Folks, don't give up. It's pretty close to midnight. Right now would be, if you're watching this, it doesn't matter what time it is. If you're watching this, I'm gonna ask one thing. You don't have to share this. You don't have to like this. You don't have to comment on this. You don't have to do anything with this. All I ask is one thing. That you would at least take 1 minute and pray. Even if you don't believe in that God, that's all I ask. You pray 1 minute of prayer to a God you don't believe in. I've tried a lot of things, and it's the only thing that's ever worked for me. I love you, friends. Have a wonderful evening.